This is why I don't think the vaccine pushers are serious about health, because the biggest news, I propose, in the history of this pandemic just happened, and nobody's talking about it. The thing that could cure people who, even if they don't take the vaccine, has just been approved for emergency use by the FDA, and that's this Pfizer pill. And there are serious implications of this pill being approved, because if it really works, then it's possible, and you'll have to fact check me, that they won't be able to give this vaccine to, for example, kids anymore, because now there is an approved effective treatment. And we'll see. I'm not saying I believe everything Pfizer says about the effectiveness of this new pill, but I do believe that there are treatments for COVID besides getting vaccinated. And this pill just got approved today. The FDA did it. You might not have heard about it. I don't see anybody talking about it. All the people that talk about the vaccines, this pill supposedly works. Like 90% effective. Nobody died in the trial. Why isn't anybody talking about it? Well, it goes back to the reason they didn't talk about some other drugs, which I don't know if I can mention. I'm making a video for YouTube, even though they banned me before just for telling the truth, just to put out this information, because I think for real, you could say maybe we shouldn't be giving the vaccine to kids anymore. There's a treatment. So tell me I'm wrong. The FDA just declared Pfizer's COVID pill for high-risk patients ages 12 and older. And a reminder, everybody who's getting the vaccine who's under 16 years old right now is getting the vaccine under emergency use authorization. Okay? So now people 12 and older who are high risk can take a COVID pill. They say it's 88% effective. So why aren't they screaming about it? Even if you don't take the vaccine, you can take these pills from Pfizer, very important, and get better and not die. Nobody died so far who's taken these pills. And yeah, they might have side effects. I don't know. But I'm assuming I think it's possible that a medication could work. In fact, I think some of the medications they said didn't work before did work. And they didn't get the green light because no one was going to get rich from it. Now, with this pill, this Pfizer pill, somebody important is going to get really wealthy. Okay, it's patented. Guess how much it costs? You know how much those other drugs cost, right? A couple bucks for a full treatment. The other drugs I can't mention. Cheap. You don't even need insurance. You know how much the government is paying? They ordered 10 million doses of this Pfizer pill. $500 a dose. $500 a series, I should say. That's what they're paying Pfizer. Great business. But you might have heard some doctors talking about how maybe the FDA and the government covered up the effectiveness of treatment, like those drugs I can't mention, because they wanted people to take the vaccine, right? And this is important. That's what people say, is that these other treatments, which were effective, were covered up because they had to give the vaccine. And I'll tell you the reason for that. So here it is. It's approved. Paxlovid. 88% effective. They say nobody's died taking it. It works, they say. It stops people from dying of COVID. They're approved for high risk. Well, here's the big problem. And the reason that people say that those other drugs were covered up was because the emergency use authorization for these drugs, for these vaccines, requires that there be no other treatment. So here we are. Yesterday, there was no at-home approved treatment for COVID that would stop you from going to the hospital and dying. Today there is. If you look up the FDA's emergency use authorization for vaccines right here, emergency use authorization for vaccines explained, it says right here, under an EUA, FDA may allow the use of unapproved medical products or unapproved uses of approved medical products in an emergency to diagnose, treat, or prevent serious or life-threatening diseases or conditions when certain statutory criteria have been met, including that there are no adequate, approved, and available alternatives, okay? So under the emergency use authorization, which is what children are getting the vaccines under right now, it requires, by their rules, that there are no adequate, approved, and available alternatives. So I asked you to fact check me. So fact check me. Because my understanding now, it's under emergency use authorization, but it is approved by the FDA, and it supposedly works. So does that meet the definition of adequate, approved, and available alternatives? It's not real available just yet, but it will be. The government ordered 10 million doses. So what can I say? What can I say? I don't know. But what I will say is that it looks like there's an available treatment now that you guys recognize because someone's going to get paid, right? Pfizer. So now, how do you justify the vaccines? How do you do it? You guys, you tell me. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? How do you do it? It looks like there's an approved drug that works. And if those other drugs were covered up before so that the vaccine could go through, right, under emergency use authorization, what do they do now? I want to know. So I'm putting it out there. I mean, who's talking about it? Oh, don't worry if you're not vaccinated. There's a pill you can take now. Who's saying that? No, they're saying get a booster, vaccinate your kids, right? There's a treatment now. There were treatments before, which were covered up probably. But now there's one that they, like I said, someone gets paid for. And they get paid a lot. Yeah, if you're American, you still can't afford it unless you have insurance. And if you have insurance, you're still paying for it because that's America, baby. All right, that's my proposal. I don't see how the emergency authorizations can stand for very long. One thing the drug is not so far is available. It says in the article that it'll take a little while for supply to get up to speed. But once it is, then, it's going to be very hard to justify giving something with recognized side effects. Recognized side effects. And I'm talking about the vaccine, which, yes, there are side effects. So that's it. That's what I have to update you guys on and put it out there, How much longer? How much longer are these EUAs good for? And if you want to find me, I don't do stuff on YouTube very often because I get banned. Find me on Rockfin, rokfin.com/lifttheveil, and become a subscriber there. And then if you need help with cryptocurrency, I can help you out. You can go to my website, bitcoinmissionary.com, and sign up for a consultation. That's the thing I do on the side. So, all right. For YouTube and everybody else, that's what it is.